Down in this room.
What's going on, gamers? How you guys doing today? Thank you for the sub from Hub the Hobby Daddy. Giving me a spicy comment about how there isn't new emotes. There should be new emotes for y'all. And also from the Markitect. What up, Mark? Mark's one of the guys in my Force and Destiny RPG campaign. Dad? He also said that his sub money is worth about 110 at Canes. Yep, that seems about right. What up, Creamy Biggins, Professional Paint Licker, Straken, OSWs and Kiki, Benfit, Rufus Kit, Ben Bio, Mike Jene. I'm surprised I've been able to remember to say your name the right way. That's the kind of thing that 100% I would forget. Happy to buy you a attendee, everyone. Thank you. That's what Twitch really is for me. It's my Canes fund. All right, let's crack on with some the spice must flow. Absolutely. What did you miss? We just started. Literally just started. So haven't missed anything yet. Mr. Haney, Don. When do you want to be on the podcast next? When is a Friday that you can show up? We'll make it work for you. There are certain Fridays that are better than others, but we can figure that out. It's going to be a Friday. Let me know. We'd love to have you on the podcast. All right. Mail time. That's what we do. Not a huge mail time. I saw Goobertown and Eric from Eric's Hobby Workshop and Brent. They had this Milliput shirt. And I was like, where'd you get this Milliput shirt, dude? I want a fucking Milliput shirt. And it turns out it came from one of their buddies who just makes it at his house just for fun. And so I reached out to that same buddy who is he's not going to be making Milliput shirts for everybody. So I'm kind of hesitant to say his name and his channel and stuff. Reaper, thank you for the 37 subs. What up, Raiders? How you guys doing? We just got our stream started today. We're doing a little bit of mail time. All right, sounds good, Don. Creamy Biggins, also with a big old sub. Scott, can you convince Canes to open a place in Kansas? You know, if I could like bring it down a notch. Canes isn't that amazing. It's good for tenders, and that's kind of about it, you know. I'm here for any and all Don content. Aren't we all, dude? 253 days until the Games Workshop Lord of the Ring license expires. Are you at enough subs yet? Absolutely not. Dudums! Thank you for the prime sub. Anyways, we got this sexy Milliput shirt from Tanner. Shout out you, Tanner. Thank you very much. He also sent along some other goodies that I want to show you guys. Getting like a Canes 10-man from your house. That's fucking pog. You guys got crunchy chicken out there? No, we don't have that brand, whatever that is. Here, let me show you what we got going on here. Okay, so Tanner also sent along one of these little totems, pillars with faces on it. Gives me big Trent miscast energy. And then also these stickers. I love this. The fucking lizard man and the horse man. And then it says, every night all over the world, hundreds of people see this face in their dreams. If this man appears in your dreams too, or if you have any information that can help us identify him, please contact us, you know? Just lovely weird shit like this. I love this weird shit. Another sticker. And then this. I don't know what this is. Play with turn the page signals. Playing time. I don't think I have a way of playing a tape deck. I don't know if this still works, but I have to figure out a way to play it because I need to know if anything's on it. Best liquor store, gas station chicken I've ever had. Oh, I know it's a cassette. I know it's a tape. I know what it is. I just I want to know if there's anything on it or if it's kind of he's just sending it to me as like paraphernalia. So to give you a different option than crunchy chicken and 415, a chicken that's very popular in the Midwest, it's a gas station chicken, is Quick Trip with a K. That one gets a lot of love. Scott, you're about ready to be in a horror movie. Yeah, no shit. He also sent me a long, nice little linen print of that same sticker, all in a nice little bag. So I mean, I asked this guy just for a T-shirt, and he gave me all this wonderful these little tchotchkes, and I love it. He didn't even make me pay for the shipping or the shirt at all. It's awesome. I really appreciate that. I wish. Sorry, I meant to say I don't know what's on the cassette tape. We need a Monument Hobby Canes collab with themed paint sets. Yeah, it's not Canes, that's for sure. Okay, so today we're going to continue painting my Dark Eldar Incubi. I have some paints here that I don't really know what's in them, but I want to try them out on these guys because I have to for a sponsor. This is from Chimera. It's their new Kickstarter. They have these new fangled paints. I got a royal brown, a black, tomato, green gold. Is that actually metallic or is that just green gold? Looks like it's not metallic. Probably a purple, a dark purple, and an indigo. Okay. Well, at the very least, we can use black and royal brown for the scheme that we have going on today. But yeah, they have a Kickstarter coming up soon, and I want to try out these paints, so I have something to say about them or at least some kind of confidence to speak from when they have me do an ad for them. Discord rule number 4, nobody's allowed to like coffee. This is true, coffee's trash. Okay. I wish that I brought something and I got another piece of mail at my house because it's kind of hobby adjacent. I got the RPG supplement for Eat the Reich, where you play as a vampire and your mission is to kill Adolf Hitler in his residence in Paris, France. And it's like a shorty little campaign. It's ultra violent. It's it's vampiric. It's got the occult. It's got like the disclaimer in it was so hilarious. I took a picture of it. I just want to read it for a second because it's short and it's hilarious. Okay. This game includes death, violence, grievous injury to player characters and non-player characters, blood, vampirism, mental domination, guns, animated corpses, werewolves, occult magic, fascism, Nazis, and Adolf Hitler. Some of these can be worked around. The vampires, the Nazis, fascism, and Hitler, not so much. That's the general content warnings. I took so many pictures of the book because the editing, the format, the layout, it was so good. It was so good. I wish I could show you the guys that book. Yeah, I did arrive. Scott doesn't like coffee. Time to unsubscribe. Coffee is fucking amazing. That's fine. Everyone else is allowed to like it, but it's not for me. Your preferred coffee is yellow Red Bull. Nice. Alexi616, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Why coffee when can just get a Baja Blast 4 straight to the veins? IV, not 4. Absolutely, Mark. I completely agree. Vampires getting dropped behind enemy lines in coffins is such a fantastic visual. Okay, yeah. Let me add to that visual, Mike, because there's more lore in the book about what a coffin drop is. It's like a big metal casket, and the vampires inside are not. They're not, padded or anything. When they hit the ground at light speed, not light speed, they go really fast, and because they want to avoid enemy surveillance, and they crash into the ground. And the person in the coffin is undead; they're a vampire, and they get destroyed. They break their bones, whatever. They get destroyed. Imagine a human body in a coffin dropping down at terminal velocity as fast as it can drop, and the coffins have pressurized, high-quality nun blood that it fucking sprays into the coffin, and apparently that blood is super good for the vampires in this world, regenerate super fast. So they strike the ground, the pressurized nun blood gets sprayed into the coffin, they reanimate, and then come out in, 30 seconds, 1 minute? I don't know how long it's supposed to be. That is such a hilarious and brutal idea. The other thing that's kind of funny about it is that the nun blood comes from the convent that this military operation works in. They have a nun convent on staff. I mean, that's just so amazing. Didn't that same company make the Spire RPG? I'm not sure. It's something in Rowan. Rook and Rowan, I think is what it's called. Shout out to Will Kirby who did the art for each. They're like, nice, dude. You know, I think Will Kirby did the art for Space Station Zero, didn't he? Holy shit, light speed. Oh, you said it there, right there. Yes, you did. If you had to be forced to like coffee or paint a Space Marine, what would you pick? Definitely drink coffee. That's such a lower bar. That's liquefaction speed. Rather than absorbing the shock, they use none-blood. Exactly. I need a blood effect now called none-blood. Farm to table none-blood. Rowan, Rook, and Decker. There it is. Yeah, that showed up. I read like half the rule book because it's a pretty short rule book. And it just seems great. There's just so much goodness in it. So much fun, fluffy goodness. Okay, today I believe we are going to, briefly, I'm going to look at, because I want to do this while on stream with you guys, the maker of this paint that I kind of want. I don't know how detailed of a test we're going to do today, because I do want to paint what I want to paint, as opposed to painting something that would be best for this test. But here is what he said for how to use these paints, because it's hard to tell, like, what separates a paint range from another paint range or a set of paints. If they're designed with a certain intent in mind, I want to know it, and there is an intent in mind for these guys. Consider them as color boosters for mixes, or dilute them to glaze and filter stuff, or dilute them a lot for washes. Okay, we can do that. That is not too bad. I might do that. I might add some extra shading to the white power armor just to see what it's like. Kind of like an ink. Let's see. I'm super excited to play that. I backed the PDF version. Nice, dude. Nice. Yes, Amosteen, you missed the very brief Eat the Reich talk. But if you got stuff to share about it, please share it. My copy showed up yesterday. It was very hype. I've been playing a lot of Red Rising lately, y'all. Any of you guys play Red Rising? It's a Stonemaier game based on a sci-fi universe, I believe from a book series or a book called Red Rising. I don't know if it's a series or an individual book. D Rising? Rising Sun? No, none of those ones. Red Rising. It's like a sci-fi board game. Still waiting my copy. Nice. Have I watched the Fallout show? I have not, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. My one reservation in watching the Fallout TV show is that I've literally never touched a Fallout game in my life. So it just feels like there'd be a lot of, cool things in the show that I just wouldn't understand because I don't have that context. I know it's probably still good, but to get the most out of it, I would like to understand what's going on in the world and in the video game. Went to see Abigail. Okay, cool. I actually put that on my watch list. Was it good? Was it scary? You said it's very fun. I don't know what that means. You think it's a young adult series? Okay, nice. Gotcha. Hella good, and you don't need to know jack shit about Fallout. Okay, that's fair. Wife doesn't play games, and she is really liking it. Oh, awesome. You talking about Red Rising, HUD, or something else? I mean, I know the story still functions without knowing about the video game, but I bet there are I thought there would be things in the, in the show that are like fun references, Like I watched the Mario movie recently, and they had a lot of fun references to the Mario universe and video games that made the watching experience much more enriched. And I would like to have that same experience if I were to watch the Fallout TV show, for instance. Oh, the Fallout show. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, sorry. My bad. All right, so I don't plan to do this in the actual paint plan. I'm just doing this for the sake of testing these paints out. First observation, that one that came out of the palette was pretty thin. Makes sense. It seems like Riccardo Agostini was describing like a paint range that was similar to inks, like the way he decided to use them. Color boosting, glazing, diluting for washes, all those things inks can do. There's a ton of references, but definitely understandable if you didn't play the games. Okay, very cool. I never finished Game of Thrones. No, I didn't finish Game of Thrones, sadly. Somewhere in the middle of season 2. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. If I have time to watch a thing by myself, because my wife isn't going to watch that show with me, or Fallout, for instance. Typically, I'll just watch a movie. I like watching movies. Although, that being said, I did watch Chernobyl recently, but that was with Amber, so I guess it doesn't count. Abigail was very much like a schlocky monster movie, so like more goofy than scary. Okay. Hi, Scott. What up, Irish Padawan? How you doing, man? Or woman? Thought I was going to miss the stream, but my shift at work got changed. Hell yeah, dude. Welcome. Fallout. That's what I said to Amber, Evan. I was like, you want to see the aftermath of Chernobyl? Let's watch Fallout. Because it was like on the screen as we finished the show, and she asked about it. I thought that was funny. No stakes, pun fully intended, because you don't really care about the characters much. Okay, cool. I'm really tempted to get Ghost Boat, but it's not easy in the UK unless you buy a 3D printer. Is it worth the import costs? I love the idea of small-scale micro mini games. Alexi, I'm gonna be 100% dead honest with you. I played the game like 6 or 7 times with Alex, 52 Miniatures, when he was here, and I haven't played it since. And that's not necessarily because the game is bad or I was upset with the product in any way. I kind of moved on to things I was more excited about in the moment. So that's kind of where I'm at with the game. So I can't really speak to it a whole lot, but just like you, I also love the idea of a micro game. It was just such a cool, different interpretation of miniature wargaming that I wanted to invest in it and I wanted to support it. But I don't really know much about the game or how to make commentary on the game. Okay, caught up with all the questions. Let's try out some of this paint. So this is Royal Brown, very royal actually. Maybe actually a little bit too royal. I wish I had a couple more paints just for some more variety. That's okay though. We'll take some of this green gold, which is almost like the same color as my wet palette, but just darker. We'll mix it in to desaturate it a little bit, lighten it up a little bit. Ghost Boat is not a real product. Everyone is talking about Demon Ship. You're gonna see Ungentlemanly Warfare today. That just seems like a movie that'd be made by who directs that movie? Is it Guy Ritchie? It seems like it'd be by Guy Ritchie. If you love the idea of a solo game, Demon Ship is a well-made product. Cool. Guy Ritchie? I fucking knew it. Okay. That just seems like a Guy Ritchie movie. Guy Ritchie is like the person who expanded my movie watching horizon. Him and David Fincher a lot. Like the first movies I watched were Seven and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch and Revolver and all that shit. All right, now we got a nice kind of orangey color. Orangey tannish, maybe. Miscast, what up, brother? He did make that one as well, Leo, yeah. Miscast Co. Miscast. Trent, look at this shirt that I got, bro. Hell yeah, I'm part of the club now. And he also sent me one of these guys, which reminded me a lot of something that you would make. Snatch is definitely goated. I told Tanner, I was like, this gives me Miscast vibes, and he said, lol. Okay. I got a Necromunda game today against... He's your favorite miniature maker at the moment? That's pretty cool. I don't know if I have a favorite miniature maker. Okay. So... I mean, I'm really liking it. The initial sub 10 brushstroke remark. This is doing what it says it's going to do on the tin, you know? It is glazing very nicely. It doesn't necessarily dry too fast, so I'm able to kind of manipulate it a bit before all hell breaks loose. I think I would like a little bit more brown in here. It's very possible that I just like nailed the dilution for this, and like the model I'm painting it on is just like really working in terms of like the kind of finish that it is and stuff. Cause like that's a possibility. Tryups Grath, thanks to the sub. 1 month streak. Let's go. Y'all make me feel bad about how I baited Evan into playing MCP. Do I have any recommendations for kitbashing YouTubers or anyone in chat? P the Wargamer and Young Mistcast. Yeah, I know a lot of people on Instagram who are like amazing kitbashers. I think I want some black for this stuff as well. Studston Studios, that is a fantastic recommendation from Trent. I can second that. I love watching his videos. Not necessarily like the miniature hobby kind of kit bashing that maybe you're referring to, HUD, but definitely in that vein, and entertaining videos, incredible videos. So much fun creativity to witness. And also the edits are wonderful. He makes an amazing video. Like, he does not waste your time, and that is so appreciated. Victor TCVR's stuff and his bashes are incredible. I never heard of that one. I'll check that one out. Yeah, Sammy D, HUD's got me. Yeah, I feel you, HUD. Gamey, oh my God, dude, Gamey builds also fucking rules. He goes hardcore into making a video. He'll illustrate the concept. He'll paint it in watercolor. He'll kit bash it. He'll paint it. And while he's painting it, he'll tell you the lore. He'll tell you a story, an excerpt from the lore that he wrote. Probably all playing music that he wrote as well. It is that's another content creator that really deeply cares about the entire visual experience, visual and sonic experience, and it's a lot of fun. You know, those videos are fun to watch. Good recommendations, chat. You guys are on fire right now. Brush for Hire's stuff. Brush for Hire's stuff. That's not a kit basher. That's mostly a painter, right? From what I remember from Brush for Hire's stuff, he or she is super solid. No complaints about painting skill there. Oh. There we go. That's the right color. What up, Summon Lesser Maker? He is, but he does kit bashing. Okay, cool. I missed that now. I'm sorry. He took a creature caster, Lady of Chaos, and turned her into a Lady of Butterflies. Excellent, brother. Excellent. Unrelated to kit bashing, but I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't know this until yesterday. But Jared Hess, creator of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, has another video called Gentleman Broncos. Another movie called Gentleman Broncos, and it is fucking hilarious. I think it is the funniest movie I have seen the funniest comedy I've seen in a long time. It is so funny. I can't recommend it more. If you can handle kind of a little bit of kind of sick irreverence, like a little bit of vomity kind of comedy. It is hilarious. So good. I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, dude, HUD, you gotta watch it. It's so funny. It's so funny. I watched it with some of my other buds who are just a bunch of goofballs, and it was just a fucking grand experience. Kind of remind me of like if you put together the Greasy Strangler and and Napoleon Dynamite into one movie, you would get Gentleman Broncos. It's got Sam Rockwell in it. It's got Jermaine Clement in it. It's got Jennifer Coolidge in it. Like it's good. It's good. Any plans to do more Star Wars RPG? Absolutely, Rolls Royce. We have plans. I have read the whole ass rule book. Not the whole thing, but close to the whole thing. You don't need to read the whole thing. And my PCs, which the party has now grown to 5. Oops. Shit. They are currently creating their characters. Oh, I kind of fucked up the shoulder pad a little bit. Oops. I'm gonna need to fix that one. But yeah, I'm helping them make their player characters. I read this advice video, or I watched this advice video where it was like, you should help each individual character create each individual player create their character, as opposed to like doing it all at once. And that obviously takes a long time to do, but I thought that was a good idea. And so I'm kind of sitting down with every single person as an individual, or trying to make their character with them, to kind of understand their backstory more and stuff like that. Been watching Black Sails in my solo time, loving that show. Nice. Have you seen the horror movie The Boy? It's about a puppet. I've seen The Boy by Richard Linklater, but I haven't seen a horror movie called The Boy. I got a Spanish ad for Tresemme hair products. I'm a bald man in Massachusetts. Twitch is not twitching right now. Hey, I have a question for Midwestern people. Anything or tips on basements? I'm basically from a place with no basements. Basements, okay. If you have a walkout basement, you have to be concerned about flooding. I mean, with basements, you have to be concerned about flooding in general, but in my walkout basement, I get a lot of water around the door entrance into the basement. Be careful about that. So oftentimes basements have a lot of humidity in them, and so having a dehumidifier in your basement makes a lot of sense. Basements have a lot of radon in them because you're below the earth. So some kind of radon emission system, or at least a way to measure the radon in the home, in the basement, is a good idea. What else? It's cold down there. That's all I got, sorry. My wife and I just finished watching all the Alien movies. Now I'm making our way through Terminator. Hell yeah, dude. That's fun, dude. I love doing movie series like that. I went to Insta to get a Kitbasher's name and got distracted by all the thirst traps in my timeline. Okay. Helping with character creation is the best way to find personal plot hooks to really draw players in. Yeah, that's definitely like kind of what I was thinking. It just helps me to. It also, I mean, I don't know. I can like almost guide the process a little bit as well. But some of my PCs are like not like super precious about like what character, like what their career and specialization and like backstory is. Like they're like happy to kind of like meld into like what is currently going on, and so that's also helpful. Okay, excuse me. I'm pretty happy with that very brief preliminary test. The paint glazed pretty well. I didn't have to faff around with paints too much in terms of like diluting them more or not diluting them more. It stuck down to the miniature really nicely. It didn't dry super fast, so I was able to put it down and then feather it out a little bit. All these things are good for what this paint is trying to do. Also, it's very intense and high flow. And so that also means if I don't dilute it at all, and I say I mix my 3 colors here together, it should make a really great recessed shade paint. Maybe with a little bit of water in it, because it actually probably could be used for like normal paint. One thing I would love paint companies to do is just like, if you put something fancy and different and special in your paint, like just tell us what it is, you know? Like, it's not enough for me as a skeptic to have someone be like, it does all these things now. And it's like, you know, kind of give me the sci-fi, give me the science jargon, you know? Like, what did you do to the paint we all know and understand? There we go, that's a nice, I just did a little recessed shade right around that little hose thing right there. Anyways, kind of washes on. Like Mike Janae was kind of describing how his inks work. But yeah, I would love it if people would like kind of explain what's going on with their paint in a more scientific way. I'd personally appreciate that. All right, actually, I'm gonna do that for all of them because I really struggled around these top armor segments to get nice, thin, dark brown lines. And so I'm just gonna quick zip that line in on all these dudes. Eldar time? Absolutely, Kimby. Anyone know if I can do anything to prevent the nozzles of my AK paints from splitting? Yeah, it's kind of just the way of life, unfortunately. Oh, here's what I'll also say. I mean, I thinned down that paint a ton, and it didn't fall apart. It didn't split on my palette. It sooner dried than it split apart. Cool. Rules are too granular for my taste. What game are we talking about right now? It looks cool. Blood and Plunder at Adepticon. Okay, Blood and Plunder. Okay. Yeah, actually, there's gotta be like some kind of like surfactant or something in this paint. Cause yeah, it's no, maybe there is. Maybe it's just the water, but it is kind of washing into the cracks nicely. Okay. This is a good time to do this step as well, because the next step is going to be highlighting the white armor with edge highlights. Yeah, kind of fucked that one up royally. Okay, did all those little recess shades. Now, let me just fix up the armor panels that I messed up. The first one I messed up. Another game that looks great at the table but is a bit too out there for me is Free Blade. Their Adepticon tables are gorgeous, but escalating dice thing doesn't excite me. I didn't play that game this last Adepticon, but I played it last year and I wasn't like super enthusiastic about it. Lowell Light HD, the paint range that I'm playing around with, is one that's coming soon to Kickstarter from Chimera. It seems to be a paint range or a paint set. It's not like it's gonna be a range. That is, I don't know, more about boosting colors by mixing them in, thinning them down to be a glaze, thinning them down to be a wash, or in the case that I'm discovering here, thinning them down to be a nice recessed shade. They're high intensity colors that are a little bit thinner to begin with for those kinds of painting applications. Okay, got a little bit of a fuck up on this guy's breastplate. Got some black paint down there, let's fix that. There's probably other areas where I did that exact same thing. You know, honestly, that's kind of good enough. I don't think I need to really worry about, well, maybe I should let it dry first. I'm probably gonna see some black once it dries. I'm kind of surprised how easily that worked out. All right, yeah, this shoulder pad, I think we went a little bit too hardcore with that shadow. That was feathering in a nutshell right there. All right, I want to paint like right here. Let's get that focus in a better spot. I keep getting a little too close to the camera. Let's do it again. All right, here's feathering for all the people who don't know what feathering is. You put paint down, clean your brush, get rid of the excess moisture, and then pull that still wet paint toward whatever area you want to pull it toward. Very often I am doing this with, I'm trying to boost the max highlight or the max shadow, nothing intermediate. All right, hold on, let me mute myself, dry this and do it again because that wasn't a great example. I probably missed Don, but see you, Don. A lot of sub pump talk going on in the chat right now. What's the deal? There we go, there's some more feathering. I'm probably gonna do that a couple times just because light colors don't really cover up that well. All right, yeah, I was right. You might not be able to see it, but there's a little bit of black still there, even though we kind of base coated it with just pure whatever this color is that I used for my initial shading and highlighting. I'll sneak some this bright color right in there, and I'll kind of tease that edge, kind of tease it into that color I just put down. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, how are we going with shoulder pad? All right, maybe one more pass, 2 more passes. I don't want to thin the white paint too much. Spilbo Baggins, that's a fucking great name. People love Necromunda is the deal. Oh, that's the sub pump deal? Pumping sumps in here, dude. Come for the mini painting, stay for the home renovation advice. It's the April Sumps for subscriber drive. I'm being informed on things I should know before I place hobby stuff in the basement. Okay, good. This is still the basement chat. Okay, cool. Hobby stuff is too expensive to fuck about. This is true. Okay. Originally, I thought I was gonna do a white edge highlight, and maybe I will. I might get that color out just in case. But I think I'm just gonna do whatever this color is. What is this? Elfic Flesh? Are you joking? Elfic Flesh? Bro, just call it Elf Flesh. All right. Elfic Flesh. Jesus Christ. All right, this is dead white. Okay. I think I might have some soda left from my lunch, and I desperately want that. So I'm gonna go pick it up. I wish I could show you guys my Razorwing jet fighter so far, because it's so nice. I'm so excited with it. It's nice to have a thing you're doing in the hobby that you're excited about. I think I sadly got rid of my soda, and so I'm gonna crack another because I'm a fucking unhealthy monster. Oh! Elf Flesh is probably copyright. You think so? And delicious. Settle down. All right. We got some white, we got some creme. Okay, let's do some edge highlighting. And I'm not trying to do every single edge. I'm trying to do the important ones. And so to me, the important ones are this one. Obviously the other shoulder pad as well. Now, the thing is, I'm curious when it dries, and you can kind of already see, it kind of just disappeared. So I think I am going to use pure white. I'm going to use some white ink and pure white together. Bop. Oh, also, chat, not to be that guy, but because what I'm painting is effectively, it seems like a model kit, and I'm doing a lot of things that I learned in like Plasmo's video. If you don't know who Plasmo is, he's a plastic modeler on YouTube. He's from Eastern European. And so I wanted to use a couple of products that he uses. And so he primes his models with this stuff. I know John's been harping on this shit ever since he learned about it from the commenters on our podcast. I tried this out, and I really struggled to get a perfect surface finish on my large, big jet, which has many big smooth surfaces. So I wouldn't have this problem on a mini at all, because there's just not enough surface area to really even notice it. But there were so many times where, like, maybe it was my airbrush, it could have been the airbrush. I don't think it was actually the product, but I was just like sputtering out a little bit of like extra primer. And like when you like looked at like the wing, for instance, in like a light, you would see little bits of texture or orange peel. The one great thing about this product is that it dries to a sandable finish like in 20 minutes. And that is fucking incredible. But you're spraying lacquer in an airbrush. And so I had an air purifier, I have a fan right there, I was wearing a mask, and so you kind of need some level of protection. But I don't think this is like any better for priming minis than whatever airbrush primer you're already happy with. At least that's my initial thoughts on it. I am very keenly aware that I kind of seem to be the guy who doesn't like think anything is necessary, like any tools are good or better than other ones. So I don't mean to be that person, but it just happens to be what my opinion is. apparently. But yeah, it dries faster. You need to use the 1500 variant. 1000 is thick. I mean, I just thin it with more of the settling thinner. I went to the hobby store and the guy, I had a different kind of thinner, and he was like, "No, not that one, this one." And then he showed me the Mr. Color leveling thinner, and he's like, "You should use it 1-to-1." So I used it 1-to-1, and yeah, it goes on like a dream. But maybe my airbrush just like had some stuff in like the tip or something like that. Okay, honestly, like the kind of things that I'm complaining about, you will not notice in the final paint job. And like most miniature painters don't even care about that stuff, but model kit painters really care about that kind of stuff. And so I was just trying to figure out like if it was better at doing stuff that model kit painters are keen on, like getting nice, smooth surface finishes. And also I'm a beginner. Like I don't know if I'm even doing it right. So maybe I have the wrong stuff. Maybe Mr. 1500 is really gonna change everything. Yeah, they're carbon, Rufus. Speaking of primers and airbrushes, you have to check out Molotov One for All. It's a game changer, way better than standard airbrush primer. It goes on like a dream with no thinning and sticks on with anything. Basically graffiti marker. My issue with graffiti stuff is that typically graffiti stuff fills details. So I did have some, I had some like graffiti spray paint, and it kind of filled the details of some Sisters of Battle that I was priming, and I felt kind of bad about that. A cleaner one that acts similar to Tamiya is Mission Models paints, like a primer you're talking about. Marco and a few other European painters swear by it. Nice, yeah. For what it's worth, I do not see a benefit to using this for miniatures, like actual figures. Like you do not need to deal with the lacquer stuff. It would not make that much of a difference. But on a bigger thing like a tank or something where you plan on like sanding it and priming it and sanding it and priming it to get like a beautiful surface finish, like I would 100% use this because the turnaround time is just way faster, way faster. Angry Medic, thank you for the sub. Yeah, primer, okay, cool. For what it's worth, I mean, you guys have heard me say this before. I have a huge bottle of Stynylrez from Badger, and it has worked for me for the last 5 years. And so I just keep using that. No complaints. I don't really use the white stuff straight up. I mix it often with black to get gray. I don't know. It seems to work for me, luckily. All right. We got some white paint mixed with white ink. Let's do some edge highlighting. Okay. Yeah, we'll stick with white. I definitely want to do the shoulder pads. I'll do all the edges on the raised up portion of his forearms and whatnot. We'll do a little bit right here, why not? Just because it's so close. Maybe I'll do a little bit of tan edge highlighting on these really dark shadowy parts down here. Excuse me. Yeah, that's nice. That kind of cleans up that Under Armour area a little bit. Gives it some new meaning on life. All right, and then we got this part. It's like Incubi all have like these little tiny pop collars. They're styling on us. This is not really an edge highlight, but I'll just kind of pop some color onto that thing. Pop, pop. This is all just like chest stuff, and so this is kind of like important. These are important details in the model. Maybe I'll clean up some of my oil wash with this stuff as well. I like when a step is multi-purpose, you know? It doesn't need to just be the edge highlighting. It can also be other steps as well if it makes sense for whatever paint is loaded into your brush. Okay, yeah, that cleaned up the torso quite a bit. We haven't done the face yet, just kind of like the chest and the one arm so far. I went to go see Dune Part 2 again in theaters. That's number 4 for me. We got any people in the chat that have seen Dune Part 2 multiple times in theaters? I know Hud hasn't. Hud's a hater. He's a hater. I wish. Yeah. I've never seen a movie this many times in a movie theater. So it feels weird, you know? It's weird in a vacuum that I've seen the movie this many times. I realize that. Still haven't seen it. That good? A Triops Craft? Obviously it depends, you know, on the kind of person you are. But the way it feels to me is it feels like the release of the original Star Wars, or it feels like the release of Lord of the Rings. I wasn't like prime, mid-20s, or in my case, early 30s age to really like latch onto those movies as a little kid. Like I did on a surface level, like Lord of the Rings. But like I didn't like love it for everything that it represented, like I can with Dune, because I'm an older adult. I can understand all the motifs and the themes going on, the characters. The movie is just so cared for. Like the whole process is so cared for. And I feel honestly incredibly lucky that I get to be able to watch a movie like this in theaters, and that I am this age when it came out and stuff like that. I can't recommend it more, but it really depends on the person. Obviously, it always does. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really good movie. One of the best movies I've seen in a long time, for me personally. HUD is clearly from the Northern Tribe. Yeah, I obviously definitely can see Lord of the Rings being a big one for a lot of people. Benjo, 12 months of subbing. Thank you, sir, for another month. Appreciate it. Yeah, Amos, Dean, I haven't been able to see it in IMAX again. Haven't seen a movie in the theater probably a year. Yeah. COVID definitely, like, I used to see a movie once a month, pretty much in a theater. And then COVID happened, and now I maybe see like 3 movies a year in theaters. It's sad. It's sad. I like movies. Key B has seen it 6 times. God damn. I didn't get enough of it on the big screen. I know all the colors and proportions are going to be way worse on TV. That's fair. Guess I got weekend plans. I am curious to know what you think of it. You know, I don't want to oversell it. I don't want to be like, it's the best movie ever. That's kind of how I feel about it right now. It's the best movie I've seen in a while. But, you know, everyone's different. Like, HUD didn't like it. HUD's a huge appreciator of Dune, and a huge part of that book was not in the movie. And, you know, Denny changes the source material a little bit. Like, not in, like, he left certain things out. Like, he changed the way certain characters acted compared to the book, and a lot of people that have a lot of love for the written story by Frank Herbert take issue with that, you know, understandably. Right, exactly. There's one thing that HUD is commenting on is that in the movie, it doesn't matter. I don't want to spoil anything. But yes, there are differences. So if you are an original Dune book lover, you might find some things to dislike about it, understandably. Back when MoviePass, bro, MoviePass was a fucking, that was ridiculous. I was so happy to be part of that. Some of my friends were buying yearly subscriptions for MoviePass, and I was like, bruh, like this is not gonna last. Like, do not buy it monthly, or sorry, yearly. But that was an amazing time for moviegoing. It was an amazing time. They're more focused on reading than movies lately. Got Libby, Hoopla, Kindle Unlimited. I'm going through minimum $2 a month. That's awesome, bro. That's a lot, you know. My wife like does a similar thing. She does like $3 or $4 a month, and it's kind of like a superpower to me. It's amazing. Buffalo Hunter 2020. Thanks for the sub. Yes. Fuck you, venture capitalists. Pay for my fucking movie. That was amazing. That was amazing. I liked the first one, watched it multiple times. I mean, brother, why haven't you seen the second one? You're gonna love it. It's so good if you like the first one. Or maybe not, I don't know. You haven't read the first books yet? I'm on a little past page 200 right now on book number 1. I'm loving it. I'm loving the book. The book is so much fun. I love getting all the extra details. All right, focus up, Scott. You got fucking incubi to paint, brother. I try to use a darker color for this edge highlight, but apparently the nearby armor is so dark that it appears as bright as the white. I'm just gonna paint some of this dark brown over top of it to kind of subdue that edge highlight a little bit. That's nice. That's a nice edge highlight because like right here, like this is the money shot of the model, right? And right here, there was a hole in the paint job. It was just all dark. You know, there was some dark recessed shading, but otherwise the entire torso was dark. But by adding that little edge highlight there, now there's no longer a hole here. It's like there's purpose there in that spot. And that's an important spot because this is that money angle, right? Where this guy's looking, staring right at you, menacingly. It wouldn't be as big of a deal to me if the first movie had taken more liberties. I'll go see everything related to it. People are allowed to like things. This is very true. They're also allowed to dislike things, which is an important thing that I have to tell myself. Okay, now there's less of a visual hole there because I also hide these little tube things. And honestly, you can keep going. Like there's an edge right at the bottom of his torso, his segmented torso armor right there. And while I didn't do a good job at edge highlighting it, you can also edge highlight that area as well. I read about 12 books so far this year, which is an anomaly, but I gotta read my books. Also helps that I do audiobooks when painting, so I double use that time. Very nice. It's crazy to me. Like I queued up a bunch of YouTube videos to watch one day about Star Wars RPG while I was painting, and I missed everything in those videos. I don't know, I just can't focus on something while I'm doing the painting. I'm not very good at that. Here in Canada, our main theater chain has a $10 a month subscription that gets you 1 ticket free a month, 10 per additional tickets that month, and 20% discount on snacks. Actually, a solid, dude, honestly, if you go to movies semi-regularly, that is an amazing deal. I would 100% do that. I'm a good way into printing a giant tavern piece for D&D. Anyone have suggestions for terrain painting videos or tips? Oh my God, there's so many. I would check out some Luke Towan videos to get a little bit of a different look into how someone who like might paint HO scale terrain might approach that. That's what I would do. Albino Black Sheep, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, I bet Interstellar is amazing on IMAX. Okay, interesting. Maybe it's just a difference with the audio then, Rufus. Yeah, background music tends to work the best for me. Excuse me. Like, I'm pretty good about listening to a Dota VOD. Pretty good at ignoring that for the most part. Okay. Now the face. This face is a little hard to paint. Mostly because like this front like face area right here is a very thin rectangle. So if you really wanted to edge highlight it like a crazy person, you would like come down the inside of this rectangle and then go up the outside of it. But that's just too much. Ain't no one got time for that. In the immortal words of whoever that lady is in that one meme. Luke Tone is amazing, but also extremely high level. Blackmagic craft is a little more accessible and very D&D focused. Yeah, dude. Blackmagic craft would be a great one to look into for that kind of stuff. You're right. You right. You really don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot of edge highlights to make this work. I don't necessarily care about the ones you can't really see from the front, the edges. So like I'm gonna like hit these edges on these kind of rectangular things kind of up until it goes behind his back, and then I'm gonna just, you know, not worry about it too much. Yeah, that's nice. That's super nice. I put on Speed Racer 2006 while painting last, and it worked out because that movie made me motion sick. Oh no, that's not good. Are you gonna do any conversions to make your Eldar look like they are floating down like Sardaukar? No, that'd be sick though. I was chatting with Jay from Eons of Battle this morning. We just had like an hour-long hobby chat. Thank you, Rolls Royce. You're fucking awesome too, dude. So it started out as like a chat about Dark Eldar and our collaboration for like 15 minutes, and then we just talked about like the hobby for like 45 minutes after that. And in that chat, he's working on racks right now, and I was looking at the Dark Eldar range on the website, and I looked at the racks. And one thing that I struggle with when it comes to Dark Eldar legs, and you can see it here on the incubi, is their legs are so spread out. Like every single one of these motherfuckers, every single one, other than witches, have this wide-legged stance, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And so I was thinking, what if I use the lower half of the incubi body, which has that segmented armor? They have that menacing kind of walking at you gait. And they have like these long leather, like, that's almost like the bottom half of a big duster, a big leather jacket. And like that could really work out for like my kind of more desert themed Dark Eldar. And then like I have the whole story where like they stole a sun from a neighboring like galaxy to power their evil machinations, and it kind of backfired on them, and like the sun is now like kind of obliterating their part of the webway. What if like people were getting like radiation sickness, you know? I got Chernobyl on the brain. What if like I gave like every once in a while I gave a Dark Eldar like a bare arm with like a cool saw on it, or like one of those like weird like arms where it has like a tiny little arm coming off of it, like they're mutating because of the radiation from the sun. Dude, I really want to try that out, because like that'd be a really easy solution to like the fact that I hate the legs. Maybe you want Delac waists. The problem with Delac is that their entire body is a trench coat, and I don't want that necessarily, but let's just take a look. I have the sprue here right now, and I love workshopping ideas. So let's just take a look at the Delac box and see what is in it for leggies. I kind of feel like racks are gonna work just because like they have that segmented armor viberino. I could look at the rest of the GW range to figure out if there's like a better running pose. That might not be a terrible idea. Oh, where are you, Delac? Of course, you're in like the hardest to reach area. There you are. Fucking A. All right, let's take a look at some Delac gangers. Quato Eldar. Makes them look pointier. We're just really big fans of It's Always Sunny. Yeah, absolutely. How do I do bases on witches? Because of their way their legs are, I have to glue them on before the bases before I apply technical, so I can't airbrush. Just paint the airbrush. Paint the base, my brother or sister. The Dark Elf Blood Bowl team might be decent. That one I don't have on hand, but you're right. They probably got some segmented armor. In general, Dark Eldar probably would be good. Dark Eldar also work for vampires. Anyways, here's Delac, and yeah, I don't know. They're mostly robed. I'm not sure if this works. I fucking love Delac. They're so cool. I don't have any racks though. If anyone's got any racks they want to sell me, let me know. You're welcome. You can also, as opposed to gluing the witch onto the base, you could pin it onto some cork and then glue it on later. Yeah, no, painting bases without an airbrush, very simple. Don't have to overthink it. All right. I kind of feel like I don't need to do a whole lot of edge hiding on the back of the model, like really at all. Let's see. Maybe I like to do some of this stuff. I'm struggling with this paint to get it nice and thin. It runs off my brush nicely for the purposes of edge highlighting. I'm also looking for areas where I fucked up the paint job. I need to do some cover up. Witches have, oh, you're right about the little slot. I forgot about that actually. Did anyone know did anyone get the Kill Team Nightmare box? There are 10, what? No, there isn't. Those are mandrakes. Those are not racks. I have that box set though. I had a little slot, so if I did technical first, they wouldn't fit in the slot anymore. You have to glue them onto the slot and then hide it somehow. Do you think, Irian, I'm kind of curious. To explain to me how you paint your bases with an airbrush. I'm curious if I can help you come up with a painted version that is just good enough, you know? Like, I don't think that I really need to edge highlight like the knee pads on this particular model. Like, I think it's definitely a case-by-case thing. Just because that particular knee was like super blocked by the sword. Okay, I think that's good enough, honestly. I don't think it really needs to be a ton. Again, I think that the models kind of already look good enough, like with the recess shading and stuff. They just need a little bit, it's gotta get a little crisp, a little crispening, you know? Would the Mandrake robes work? I got those as well. Let's take a look. It is a good idea, just in general, to try to use the shit I have already as opposed to buying more stuff. I was never into the Coven aspect of Dark Eldar, so I never bought any of that stuff. I was much more into the cult stuff and the Cabal stuff. It also kills me that they spell Cabal with a K and not Cult, Coven, and Cabal with a C. Oh, it's like my paint cam? Not connected to the app. Okay, whatever. It just died for a second. I put technical on the base, airbrush it different shades of gray from a steep angle, and then apply a soft dry brush of white. Afterwards, I glue the model onto the base and apply some tuft. All right, here's what I would say, Irianian. I would just dry brush all those grays. I think the steep angle with the airbrush, I get it. That's definitely something that I do as well. But if you just like dry brush and drag your brush in the direction that you would be airbrushing in, I think you're gonna get a very similar effect. Now, that being said, it is it's a little bit more challenging to airbrush a base that has a model on it, but definitely doable with witches, because witches often are like very off of the base. Like they're very elevated away from it, so it's easy to kind of work around them. All right, here we go. Here's the robes for, yeah, now, again, the racks are really good just because they have the robes, but you can also see their legs as well, and like they have that armored segmentation, which is like really good. These models are awesome though. I'll look at another sprue though. Just, I don't want to condemn it immediately. That's just the inside of the model. Yeah, that's what I think. It isn't necessarily the robes that I care about. The robes kind of just was a nice addition that kind of made me think about my lore in a new way. Really what I want is the correct stance and segmented armor, which someone recommended. Fuck, what was it? Dark Elves. All right, excellent. Good luck, sir. Or woman. Sir, ma'am. Okay, let's move on. All right. Just attaching my camera back to my remote controlled thing here so I can control it without touching the camera, making it all shaky and stuff. Bro, man, this Stream Deck app is a piece of shit. There we go. What up, Monster Painter? What the fuck is this Squishy Shong? No idea. What up, Scott of the Future? It's a fun name. I can't hear the music being played right now, sadly. There's a little ball on the end of my brush. It is not conducive to edge highlighting. If someone is inclined to pro Dota 2, could someone tell me if Gaiman Gladiators lost to OG in the ESL 1 Birmingham tournament? The game was supposed to start at 11:15 a.m. and then like it started at like an hour and 10 minutes later, so I didn't get to catch the whole thing, but I'm curious if my boys lost or won. One. Okay, we split. Did they win the first game? Because they were kind of owning in the first game, but they have a way of owning in the first 20 minutes and then losing the game. Yeah, okay, all right. Appreciate you. Penguin flies at midnight. Ugh. One thing I'm noticing that's different about this white paint that I happen to grab from the Vallejo Game Color set, and also just the white paint that I use all the time, is that it has less opacity. I'm like trying to thin it like I normally thin it with a white ink, but I'm getting kind of bad coverage. Which kind of makes sense. Maybe the game color paint is not as nice. Elevator music was bumping. Yeah, it's definitely an elevator music-y. Come on, bro. Just twist on. So me and my wife shot a YouTube video this last weekend. I'm trying to do 3 videos a month, and I'm struggling to do that because I got kind of caught up in working on this Razor Wing jet fighter. So I tried to pivot so I could finish another video. And there's kind of like a basic premise that you've probably seen in other videos where like she's a noob and has no idea how to paint. And I gave her like all of my fancy tools, the brushes, the brush holder, the wet palette, all the nice paint ranges. And I used all my stuff, but you know, shitty synthetic brushes, crappy apple barrel paint, no paint handle, using a hard palette. We're just kind of seeing like how much does the quality of the tool really impact the end result if you're a beginner. Monster Painter, what up? I know, what's that, some Pro Krill? Yeah. A lot of love for Pro Krill out there. Thank you, Summon Lesser Maker. Is YouTube your full-time? What is your 9 to 5 before YouTube? Yeah, YouTube's been my full-time for probably like 4 years by now. Before that, I was a software engineer at a supercomputing company called Cray. Their whites have great coverage. Yeah, I've heard that from a couple people, actually. What do you think the weak points are of the range? Or anyone that's used Pro Crow. If you have any opinions about what you think the range doesn't do good at, let me know. I'm curious. I'm actually gonna go meet with Jason in Arizona next week. Just some company called Cray, no biggie. Starts way too dilute. Tried an oil wash on half my kill team and I don't think I got enough off there. Still super dark, yeah. Becomes super thin on my palette and dries really fast. Okay. Would you say his paint like kind of flattens out more than normal paint ranges? Obviously that can happen just because it's more diluted. But that also would make it dry out faster if it flattened out. Okay. Separates on the palette quickly, okay. That's why I don't prefer Pro Acryl either. It gets watery super fast, but the revelation that Jason doesn't use a wet palette makes sense why it's not for me. Yeah, crazy man. Crazy. A lot of the old school US painters didn't use wet palettes. I mean, a lot of the old school English painters also don't use wet palettes. It's the kind of thing where if you get comfortable doing something, there's no sense in changing it, really. Like, if you can execute on a very high level, a wet palette is really going to change the way you approach miniature painting. Like, for that kind of person, in a big way. So, I get it. I get why you wouldn't want to change at that point. Oof, that's a hard edge to paint. That's bad. I got a glass palette and it works better but dries within 5 minutes. I don't know how a glass palette would be any different than any other hard palette. Turkey Knuckle, do you have some idea why it would be any different? Jen Haley and Ann Forrester, that's why Reaper MSP is so thin. Oh, yes, absolutely. Pro Acryl works fine on my palette for me, but I only dilute at the edge of the drop as I go. But yeah, for sure. That's how I kind of work with paint in general as well. Am I the only one that feels like Monument Hobbies paint hardly any thinning, if any at all? No, Creamy Bacons. Everyone in this chat is saying that it's too thin. So they would definitely align with what you're thinking. Yeah, goofball? You're good, man. I don't have a shit ton of MSP, but I usually get it mixed up with Scale 75, except the Umbers, which I use right out of the bottle. Glass stays colder. Okay, that's maybe, I guess. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Glass is a terrible conductor of energy. What does that mean for it, though? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, that glass is... I don't know. Got you. Okay. Yeah, I kind of just figured that any paint or any hard palette or any surface that isn't going to absorb the paint is gonna probably be pretty similar. But then again, the fact, yeah, different temperature would definitely change stuff. Oops, God damn it. Mill Royal. At least the prime sub. Thinking about switching all my scale 75 paints to 8K. Okay. I mean, I don't know if heat makes a paint spread out more. It just makes it dry faster, probably. Hell yeah, creamy biggins. Fucking hype. Nice, done. I'm approaching the finish line on my Blitzball team. So hyped for that. Nice. The Pawnee Ironers, the Black Orcs, very cool. Yeah, I'm better. Yeah, I'm better. I'll start to feel that way. I'm betting I'll start to use the way the more I use AK. Yeah. Generally speaking, that's true. How you still staying motivated to paint? I haven't touched a model in 3 months. I've been grinding on some Dota and playing Witcher 3. Reducing the amount of video games you play will help. I don't know if that really helps. I mean, that doesn't help me. Limiting something that I'm enjoying outside of the hobby doesn't make me want to paint more necessarily. But I guess for me, it's just so important to just like do the fun thing. as opposed to feeling obligated to do something. Like if you feel like oh, you need to finish what you start, and then at some point it starts to feel like a chore, and then you know kind of force yourself to do the chore, and then you know it turns out it's not fun, you know, and so you do that kind of enough times, and then eventually you're like, I don't want to do this at all. So I kind of just do the things that I'm always wanting to do, the fun stuff, most of the time, not all the time. Brother, I'm here to save you, brother. Okay, save me. Why painting Dark Eldar for days? Oh, I just want to get this unit done. Yeah, that's about it. Legit, I don't know which came first, but I haven't really played any video games since Adepticon. I've been painting like a beast. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of video games either. I'm being totally honest. I'm like trying to find a video game that I'm like interested in playing. Played a little bit of Bastion last night. I don't know, they're not doing it for me right now. Still, those are Xenos. Oh, you a Xenos hater? Torm the painter? Yeah, for sure. For sure, HUD. I made that video recently about how many work in progress minis that I have. I got a lot of people telling me that I'm, you know, like they can't believe I hobby that way, and that they have to like stay committed to the things that they start, or else they'll never finish it. And you know, that's interesting. It's an interesting idea. It's not the case for me. I obviously still finish things, but I do move on from stuff when it has used up its usefulness to me. But a lot of people have a problem with that idea, understandably. Manor Lords. Never heard of Manor Lords. What up, Leo Paints? I want to paint more minis, but I work full time and play Warzone every night with the boys. that's the real reason I can't bring up the courage to try again. Actually trying Combat Patrol tonight. Oh, that's good. So I enjoyed Combat Patrol a decent amount. But a game of Shatterpoint? What list were you rocking in Shatterpoint, Atsu? Are you the kind of person to stick to a lore-friendly list, or do you kind of just run whatever? My work in progress pile is huge and usually results in D&D getting unfinished monsters, but no one complains that we aren't playing with Great Plastic. That's very true. I think it's cool you're painting the core box for Shatterpoint. I would love to have a painted set of terrain for that game. Tattooed Tabletop coming with 5 gifted subs. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. The reasons for setting down minis you did make sense to me, but I do enjoy getting to a finished piece. Oh, absolutely. There's no denying that. I love a finished mini. It's a great feeling. And typically, the larger the amount of minis you're painting at once, the greater the sense of accomplishment when you do finish whatever that thing may be. If you got a sub gifted to you from Tattooed Tabletop, make sure to let them know in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Scott, when will Games Workshop release Skaven Stormcast? I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. After seeing those Night Sisters in action, I had to take them. Then Ventress, Kraken, and some B2s. All right, sick. Yeah, those Night Sisters were doing fucking work, dude. Am I excited for any new MMOs coming out? There was like a Dune MMO, kind of. It wasn't really an MMO, but I don't really know what it is because we don't know much about the game yet. Kind of excited for that. I finished the light side team and the terrain. Just need to finish the dark side team. That's cool. I don't have many unfinished minis, but I primarily paint minis from board games. I have a list of work in progress board games with a mix of painted and unpainted minis. Nice. I've never played a Star Wars war game, but I kind of want a Legion's Ewok. Know zero about them. Legion, that was a game I demoed at Adepticon, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Atsu also got the CAD main box. Nice. Dune MMOs visually look cool. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. But I just don't know if the game is shit or not. Because like the trailer it doesn't show any gameplay. It's just people walking around. Looking forward to the Ghost Crew. Yeah, I don't really know who those people are. My Star Wars power level is too low. I tried to slap chop some models just to crank something out, and I hated it. Well, like everything, there's probably some amount of technique to learn with slap chop. Maybe there's a way you can make it work for you. You know, like instead of using like slap chop for the entire model, maybe you like would dry brush it with like a light green or a light yellow or a light blue, and then kind of like work on top of that, and you get kind of more of like a cooler atmospheric vibe instead of just like a, neutral one. The Dune MMO is from Funcom, and it could either be surprisingly good or they could drop the ball like they did with Conan Exiles. Oh yeah, I remember hearing they also did Conan Exiles. Yes. Okay. Good to know. I'm not experienced with that game or that company, so I appreciate the insight. Yeah, I'm not like super vibing on video games right now, so I'm not like keeping up with them. The one video game that did get announced that I am pretty hyped for is Hades 2. And that did have a technical demo come out where they showed you the character they're playing as and the abilities and the weapons. And I didn't watch it because I didn't want it to be spoiled, but you get to play it as a different character other than Zagreus, which is exciting. I can't wait to play that game. Oh God, don't call me out in Dota, please. All right. I have always sucked at Dota. Or at MMOs in general. I play them so much, I watch so much content on them, but I'm just so awful at them. It's really embarrassing, actually. I think I haven't played Dota in so long, but I think my MMR is, what's the one above Guardian? I'm like the lowest rank in the one above Guardian. That's what I was when I played last, which is probably maybe 8 months ago. But yeah, I'm shit at that game. Oh, I play so much Dota, and I don't know how I'm so terrible at it. It's so funny because like every tier of Dota just shits on the one below them. They're like, I don't know how you can't understand this. Like, how can you be this bad at the game? And it's like, fuck. I love it when people who are rank 50 shit on rank 200s. And it's like, this person is rank 200 in their fucking region, in their country, bro. How could you be bad at the game and be ranked 200 unless you bought your account? That's reasonable. I'll take that. All right, Crusader. Yeah, Crusader. Not Archon. No. I think maybe at some point I kissed Archon and then I dropped down when it got reset. The problem with Dota for me is that it's not a relaxing experience. I love watching the game. I love all the strategy at play, but I don't know. You got to play it a lot. You got to play the game a lot to be good at it. And, I don't know. I'm just not, maybe that kind of grind isn't for me, If I was a younger man. That being said, I do want to still play it and get good at it, though, but it just doesn't work out. Been a League of Legends player since 2009, and I'm hardened in silver. Yeah. I'm trying a kind of slap chop for my Death Guard, based in dark yellow green, dry brush in a green off-white, then airbrush either some speed paint or ink. Haven't decided yet to get a vibrant green going. Yeah, that sounds awesome, bro. That's gonna do some cool shit. Yeah, Stracking. We're talking about that one right now, that MMO Dune game. Scott, it's not that you're bad, it's that everyone else sucks. Of fucking course. My team is awful. Every single game somehow. I was legend before I stopped playing, Sag. I played Dota back when it was in beta. It was without competition, the most toxic player base I've ever encountered. Yeah, I would say it's pretty similar nowadays. I think all MOBAs have an incredibly toxic player base. They're doing a lot better now, but I think it's just the nature of games that are ranked and are team games. I think Overwatch would have a similar problem. I think CSGO has a similar problem. Whenever there's MMR on the line and you're playing with a group of people, I think there's always gonna be fucking people who are toxic. You were ranked 2 divine, and I just did my placement matches and I'm Guardian 5. Hey, now you get to stop on a bunch of noobs. You know, the game is allowing you to I hate it when I forget words that I know in my head. What's the word where you play at a rank lower than you're supposed to be on? Smurf. Yeah, the game is allowing you to Smurf now. That's kind of nice. I'm painting the Witcher board game right now. Okay, these are pretty nice, not perfect, and I try new things. There you go. Yeah, especially a game like that, Sammy. Like Dota's the kind of game that wants you to know life it. You can casually play a MOBA, but I just feel like that wouldn't be very fun. For me, it wouldn't be very fun. I would, I don't know. Same reason why I didn't play, oh my God. I didn't play Overwatch when it first came out. I was like, man, this game is like my favorite genre, FPS combined together with the gameplay mechanics that I'm familiar with from my time playing Dota 1 and playing Han. This game is perfect for me. But like, man, I can't know life a video game at this stage of my life, you know? You know? I'm competitive like you are. Sucking isn't very much fun. Yeah. Video games can be truly rewarding, and you can absolutely make friends on there, but some games just pull in really bad people. Yeah. You know, at some point in my life, I was probably one of those really mad people. Like, I'm the kind of MOBA player who would, like, look at what items you build going to lane, and, like, I'd take issue with it instantly. I'd be like, okay, like, this guy is building these items. That means he has this kind of strategy in mind. That means that he's going to lane like this. And I was like, yo, can you not do that? Can you, like, do something else? And it's just like, dude, I just need to chill the fuck out. Or, like, they'll pick a certain role or a certain character that's normally good for a certain role, and it's like, dude, don't play that character. That doesn't make sense for whatever position they're playing. Like, you know, all chatting on the picking screen. Yeah, exactly, Xander. Yeah. Took the MMO out of the, yeah. That's funny. I kind of feel that though. I was playing a game called V Rising for a long time, which I think the heart and soul of that game is meant to be played as like a PvP experience. But like, I was just playing it alone in a solo play server, and it was nice. It was chill. There's, you know, objectives for PvE to do that are meaningful, and and hard to accomplish by yourself, and you don't need to be on a server with other people while also trying to do that. So yeah, I feel that tattoo tabletop. All this is why Helldivers is cracked. What do you mean? Explain. So, would you, comparing Helldivers to Vermintide and Darktide, I'm not like a huge fan of like those games. Is the gameplay experience similar to those games, or is it not? I don't think there's anything wrong with Vermintide, just to be clear. It's just not for me. Baldur's Gate? Yeah, a lot of people love Baldur's Gate. Okay. Good to know. I don't know. The one issue that I've always had with games like Vermintide and by extension Helldivers was that I'd like me and some friends would buy the game together and we'd get like really hyped about it. And inevitably they would have like significantly more time to play the game than I would. And like I would like want to play with them and they'd be like fucking 30 million levels past me. And it just like wasn't fun, you know? It was like, it's not fun to get like absolutely fucking carried. So I don't know. I struggle with that element. And maybe I'm kind of just carrying that over into Helldivers. Maybe Helldivers, you know, maybe it circumvents that in a clever way. What am I listening to when I'm not jamming to elevator tunes? Fucking roasted. You know, a lot of stuff, some pop music, a lot of metal, some funk, some hip hop, a lot of stuff, but mostly metal music. That's what I listen to the most. Fucking A. Scott doesn't like killing rats because he knows the rats are best and you do nothing wrong. If they are trying to only play on level 9 difficulty, yeah, it would be a bad time, but you can easily just vibe with friends at any level 5 or 6. All right, cool, man. That's good to know. The other thing about Vermintide, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that I'm just not a huge fan of, is, and this could be because I'm lower skilled, it just didn't really seem like the game was very, like I didn't see how, like, the button mashing would ever become tactical in Vermintide, you know? Like, I would just strafe by a crowd of rats and just spam my attack button, you know, click another button that wasn't on cooldown anymore. And that was kind of it. And it didn't feel like it was going to ever get, like, tactical in a valuable way. Scott, my brother in Christ. This is my entire MMO gaming experience. My friends would blow past my level and I just feel like an absolute adult disappointment. An adult disappointment. That is hilarious. Saw Nothing More and Wage War in rain on Saturday. It was worth freezing for. Saw Nothing More and Wage War. Oh, those are two different movies, I think? What are those? I have the exact same issue with gaming. Less free time, yeah, and I will say Helldivers is pretty equal. Okay, great. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Helldivers is really tactical. Okay, cool. It's like even as like a beginner, you can kind of feel that tacticalness. That's good. I've never heard of Wage War or Nothing More. My bad. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I will check them out. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, that's what you said. Okay, you said metal bands. Okay. I'm with you. I listen to a lot of 80s thrash metal and a lot of modern day deathcore. and a lot of old death metal. Those are my go-to subgenres, time periods, what have you. Gotta hide this pop collar. Make my boys look fresh. Fresher than a motherfucker. I'm a motherfucker. I think that's why I prefer multiplayer games with cosmetics only. I don't like to feel under level compared to other people, especially if I'm competing against them. Yeah, it feels bad when like someone can no-life a game harder than you and just crush you for it. I've always kind of appreciated the FPS genre for that reason, because it seems like in FPS video games, like you can always be a little bit on top if you have great aim. You know, if that's a skill you possess, you're always gonna be okay. But the same can be true of literally any other video game. Like I always had beef in World of Warcraft. We're talking about that right now, because in Arena, it just felt bad to play Arena because I would never have like the PvE gear that was like good for like a warrior. And so I'd feel the need to like go on like raids so I could like find equipment, and that felt like work, and I didn't like that. I'm saying. Of course I played WoW Arena, dude. I fucking love WoW Arena. WoW Arena was like the best like video game experience of my life, kind of. Scott is low-key going to go to every Knocked Loose show yelling R-Far from crowd killing. That sounds, Knocked Loose sounds like a hardcore band. I'm kind of into hardcore a little bit. Those are both very influenced by Atreyu. Atreyu is pretty fucking good. Modern deathcore. You missed a lot, Evan. Lord Scimitar. Thank you for this. Appreciate it. Yeah, I loved WoW Arena. I thought that it was so... I loved 2v2 and 3v3. That was such an amazing, competitive, intimate experience in video games. It was so good. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. Did you not like WoW Arena, Brent? When are you going to get your group going? I want some Patreon behind the scenes on that. It's just taking some time to get everyone to make their characters. But as soon as they get their characters made, I'm gonna take the scenario and I'm gonna start modifying it based on like their backstories and their emotional strengths and weaknesses, and then we'll go from there. But I'm just trying to get everyone to get their character made, and it's kind of being a little bit of a struggle, actually. Before you became a YouTuber, Painter, how large do you think your pal shame was? Not too big, you know, kind of moderately sized, I would say. What's a good modern hardcore band? I really like Gideon. Listen to Gideon. But again, I don't listen to a lot of hardcore, so I don't know the best answer to that, but I listen to Stick to Your Guns, and I listen to Gideon. If you want to fucking, like, if you think you don't like hardcore, or if you think you like hardcore, or sorry, if you do like hardcore, listen to the song No One/No Love by Gideon. That fucking song will get you. You ever think you can't kill a man? Listen to that song. You'll kill a man. I'm not trying to actually encourage murder, but that song just gets me so fucking hyped. It's so interesting because my wife's like, how do you listen to metal? When I listen to metal, I get stressed out. And it's like, man, when I listen to metal, I get powered up. I get so excited. I don't know why. Nice, Evan. What paints are you getting? I played mostly in vanilla. I actually liked the 40 people raids back then. Nice, gotcha. Okay, cool, man. Cool. Gideon, Knocked Loose, Stick to Your Guns, Kubla Khan, Alpha Wolf. Okay, so Knocked Loose was a hardcore band. I'm mostly a melodic death metal, black metal, okay. And metalcore person myself. Metal is cathartic as fuck. Scott literally goes Super Saiyan. Ah, okay, the 3 sets, nice. I'll be listening to that at the end of the work, or in the workday, on the way to work later. Please do. It's so good. Back in my Christian metal days, I also used to listen to a couple bands called Onward to Olympus and A Plea for Purging. And there were a lot of bands that like kind of like flirted with hardcore and metalcore. They were kind of like a hybrid of those two. And I kind of feel like Under Oath and who does Danger Wild Man? I kind of feel like those bands are kind of like hardcore metalcore-y. I don't know. Maybe the Danger Wild Man band that I can't remember the name of at the moment is mostly metalcore. I don't really know what metalcore is. For Today, brother, I've seen For Today so many times in concert. That is, you just initiated my trap card. I've seen them so many times. I've met all of them. Like I paid for like backstage passes. I've been to like I love For Today. I will fucking love For Today so much. I listen to them regularly. For Today is a deep cut. Yeah, it's a deep cut. Devil Wears Prada. Thank you. I don't really like Devil Wears Prada a whole lot, but I fucking love Danger Wild Man. That song is fucking great. You saw Under Oath when you were 18? Nice. Metal folks in chat, I like The Who and The Ghost. Okay, I've never heard of those ones. I'm an aging hardcore kid who just can't seem to learn lessons. Yeah. No, I feel that big time. The Breaker CD, dude, yeah, Breaker was great. I mean, they're all great. I have them all, I love them all. You have a For Today t-shirt with a fucking Rancor on it, brother? That is a crossroads of things that I like in a very insane way. There's a Rancor on a For Today t-shirt? Can you send it to me? Can I buy it from you? Oh, what the hell, dude? That's awesome. Okay. Don't get distracted, Scott. You got stuff to paint. Dude, so System of a Down, Deftones, the Mars Volta coming to San Francisco. Nice, you got tickets? That's awesome. Tattoo Tabletop with more gifted subs, brother. Thank you, man. I really appreciate all of the gifted subs you give to the channel, dude. You don't gotta feel obliged to do that, but I really appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of bands like that in that genre. You know, Texas in July, Crimson Armada. Dude, if you want a religious themed band in the style of Black Dahlia Murder, check out Crimson Armada. They're not a Christian metal band, but like their lyrics are all about religion. Western religion, I think mostly, or maybe not actually. I think the lead singer is actually Muslim, or he was when I was into him. Crimson Armada slaps. Obviously, like, yeah, so many of those bands. Color Morale. That For Today Rancor shirt earns 5 subs. You ever watch The Green Room? Yeah, Green Room, that movie is fucking intense, dude. People get killed. That's spooky, man. I've got Wolfheart on pause. I don't want to start listening to Scotty. Nice, brother. Nice. I live in the Twin Cities. Nice. You want to wear it in the video? It's all yours. That's awesome, dude. That's my idea of where you go to listen to heavy metal. I certainly don't go to those kinds of places to listen to heavy metal. I like to stay alive. Not Ghost, or like Ghost Inside? Is that what you're talking about? Resin Poisoning? Yeah, I've never listened to Ghost Inside very much, but there are a very popular band in the genre that I'm kind of referring to right now. Yeah. I like a lot of metal music. Oh Sleeper, yeah, Oh Sleeper is another one. Fun fact about Ash Waste Snowman: he has sights on his guns to see through smoke. Does he have sights on all of his guns to see through smoke, or just certain ones? I got a lot of expendable people in my army. I'll just throw bodies at them. Easy. Remember Elijah? He's dead. Forever. The Ghost Inside is playing tonight at Minneapolis. Holy shit. You're going to an Alpha fan. I've heard of a Muir. I haven't heard of Alpha. Goobs, I don't really have the bases figured out yet, but I kind of want to use these things that I got over here next to me. Let me grab some. I got some really cool stuff from this company called Kraut Cover. They sell out of PK Pro. And they're just really great mixes. Like better than any mix I've ever got to mess with before. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The desert ones aren't super compelling. They have some amazing forest ones. Here's a riverbed one, I guess. And honestly, this is not even that amazing. The other ones have such great variety of materials. Let's see if this one's any better. Ruins of Persistence. No, this is not really what I'm looking for. They don't really have a desert one. So I don't really know. Nothing too crazy. Some kind of sand duney thing. Little tiny shrubs. I know. I noticed you and I have a similar paint scheme for our Dark Eldar. Yeah, I watched that 9th edition video you had, and I was like, oh, me and Goop's kind of rocking this desert Dark Eldar thing. Did you see the new Darktide box game? There's a Darktide box game? No, I didn't see that. It looks like shit, the Darktide game. Is it a GW box set, or is it made by someone else, or what's the deal? Bring me a shrubbery. We are the knights who say me. Me. It's a GW board game? Okay. Looks a bit like Underworlds. You want it? Okay, cool. Yeah. Been a hot minute since I've watched that movie. I need to watch Time Bandits. Terry Gilliam. They didn't bother to make the characters from the game. Okay. This just seems like this is a weird time, you know? Darktide didn't just come out. So why are they... It seems like this is the kind of thing you would do when the game came out. Like kind of a cash grabby thing. If it's going to be this long since you made the game, why not make some fucking models? You know? The game doesn't have characters, you customize your own deal. Well, the same is true for the video game, but like they have like a look, you know? It does seem like a missed opportunity. What? Maybe the game is good? I don't know. Let's do a marathon of the entire Terry Gilliam directorial library. Oh man, let's see. What is that? What would that mean for me? I have to understand what I'm agreeing to here first. Got some people messaging me. All right, Terry Gilliam. No, Terry Gilliam. Casting crew. All right. I've seen Monty Python. I've seen Fear and Loathing. I've seen Don Quixote, and that's it, man. I haven't seen anything else. I haven't seen 12 Monkeys. I know people love Brazil, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen The Baron of Munchausen. Yeah, there's some fucking ones in here, dude. There's some bangers in there. What do I think about AK interactive acrylics? They're very good. They work, you know? Yeah, I've heard 12 Monkeys is amazing. And Brazil, Rufus Kit, Brazil, I get so many different opinions about Brazil. People love it, people hate it. Oh, is that a fucking clip of me saying, "Bring me a strawberry"? That's amazing. We are the knights who say, "Icky, icky, icky, batang." I don't know what he says. Who hated are wrong. About to do my first order, but it's hard to choose the color because they don't work with triads. Okay. What are you what are you painting? What color is the thing you're painting? I have the same issues with Fnatic paint set. Went to the store and had no idea what colors to try out. Ended up with an orange that was pretty much exactly the same as PA orange. Mostly wanted the effects paints anyways. That's interesting. Interesting observation. Evan, I heard you were getting some help from Jay from Eons of Battle to build a Votan list. Are you getting into 40K for some reason? Scott, did they end up sending you the full Fnatic range, or did they just send you the 50 paints 1 or 2 times? I think it was just the 50 paints. Yeah, I see the box in there now. Yeah, why are you getting into 40K? Okay, I got you, Hud. I'm painting stuff from Kill Team. I was wondering to buy some reds, blues, greens, a solid orange and yellow, and those AK shades seems cool. Is the AK shades a box of paints used for shading? Because if so, that's kind of your banger right there. There is your shadow color. It's the best miniature war game? Duh. Okay, fine. Duh. Biggest is bestest. Yes, this is known. So you're not like in an escalation league or something like that? You're just vibing. You're vibing on some dwarfs. John offloaded all his leftover Votan stuff that was laying around, and I wanted to do what you and Jay are doing, so I needed an army. Nice. Okay. So are you like keeping track of like the points and stuff in the same way that me and Jay are doing it as well? You just want to see if you can beat me. That's what it is. Okay. All right. I see you. His goal in life to win.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
AK shades are like contrast, but much more lighter. They come in 8 different colors. I saw some video on YouTube and they work fine, but the problem is they all review AK online or French or Spanish. I don't understand a lot of it. Got you, okay. Interesting. I didn't know they had a product like that for AK Interactive. That's interesting. Just getting a head start in the next escalation league that I joined, so that when I do play 40K, I'm not behind everybody else. Oh, I love the way you guys are looking. I love it. Here's my big guy, my Clavex. Color scheme was looking mighty fine. Thank you, VK Victorize. Longtime YouTube lurker. Loved the videos. Was happily surprised that you got into Necromunda. Just got my friend group hooked to it too. We're still waiting for our order from GW. Awesome, dude. See you, Dallin. Have a great day. Also, see you Tattooed Tabletop. Yeah, dude. Happy that you and your friend group are gonna enjoy some Necromunda. It's a fun time. This is a fun time. The game outside of the game is truly enjoyable to do. Oh, that'd be cool, Evan. Kind of get them to work together a little bit, theme-wise. Yeah, I can't wait to. I don't know. Okay, any Dark Eldar players, can you guys tell me if this triangle thing on their forehead is supposed to be visible, or if I was supposed to sand that and like fill that and stuff? Because I feel like it's not supposed to be visible, but man, it's really sticking out there quite far. Necromunda gang conscripts. Yeah, there we go. I got Necromunda Learn to Play event this weekend with my friend. Hell yeah, dude. Enjoy. Because I'm thinking of Caragillium. I have to recommend. Okay, did you have a particular one in mind that you wanted to recommend, Rufus, or was it just Brazil? Beans. You know what? Let me check the back of the heads. Because I messed up quite a bit on the back of the heads. Unless it's like really close to the neckline. I don't really care about that. Yeah, I don't really care. Okay. Yes, I do want to watch Time Bandits. It's on the watch list. It's been on the watch list for a long time. I haven't got around to it yet. Escher? Nice. Escher. We have an Escher. We have 2 Escher players in our campaign right now. Going punk rocky? Yeah, dude. Do cheetah print? Do some wacky cheetah print colors? Hell yeah. Scott, do you think a bleached, faded tip to those horns would look good and complement the color scheme, or is there too much tan already present on the model? It's an incredibly enlightened question. I love that question. I do think that'd be too much tan on the model, but it'd be cool though. Maybe you could fade to a different color, a military green, a yellow. I'm doing a teal spot color. It's maybe like a desaturated cold blue. Could fade to that. Yeah, that's a fun idea. I think Brazil is his greatest work, but I love them all. Time Bandits is great. Toll Monkeys pretty much all you haven't seen. Yeah, Toll Monkeys I've heard from a lot of people is really good. Chrome horns. I was thinking about making the swords chrome, but I think that'll be a little ridiculous. But I kind of want to do it. A fade to blue/cyan would be cool. Yeah, you know, that does sound kind of fucking cool. Not gonna lie. That's just a lot to do. I don't know. You gotta reel it in, you know? At some point, every hobbyist has to decide for themselves where you're gonna draw the line in the sand about how much effort you're gonna put into this thing. Oh, it's raining. Okay. The swords. The sword. So this is from a previous paint job. This maroon is not going to stay here. I don't think it works in the scheme. My only idea for the swords was to paint them chrome and then shade them with teal, the same teal that would match the spot colors in their eyes and these little gem things and whatnot. Just because like the way that those swords are described, I feel like the chrome would look so good on them. But also, I'm just like vibing on chrome so hard right now. I could also just paint them black. I think black would look really great. Black with some of these glowing, maybe glowing teal runes to, again, match that spot color. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen is one of my favorite. Okay. Not sure if you've ever heard of the very old. I have heard of that name before, but I don't know if it's in reference to the movie or the book. What about mixing chrome with teal ink for your sword? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Like having a very glossy, high chrome teal. But not entirely. I want like the edges to be more teal or like maybe the bevel area. I'm not sure what. But at this stage, it's very difficult to do that because of where the sword is and the model is like largely done. Black chrome. It's so weird how when you just say a phrase, suddenly your mind is just sent on a journey. What the fuck am I saying? You know what I mean, though? Black chrome. A dark, shiny silver. I know Tamiya makes like a smoke clear product, like a dark gray or a black that would work over any chrome to darken it down. That might make it more appropriate for the scheme and less in your fucking face, but still in your fucking face, you know? I'm so addicted to Balatro. That's a video game, right? Hot pink horns. Chrome on the horns. I only own one chrome paint, End 415, and it is Molotov Chrome. Although a lot of people have been telling me, not a lot, 2 people have been telling me about AK Interactive's Chrome, and they've been really liking that stuff lately. Black Chrome sounds like an 80s hair metal band, dude. Black Velvet and That Little Boy Smile. Black Velvet is that slow southern stuff. I don't know what you're saying right now. It's a game, yeah. My friend is playing Balatro right now. Oh wait, no, that's not ink. This is ink. There's the ink. Green Stuff World Chrome is cyclical too. Nice. It's lyrics. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, from a dumb 80s hair metal band, maybe. But if you figure out who they bought it from, you can get it cheaper. Good old Green Stuff World. Oh, God. God damn it. I really wish I kept the heads off on these guys. I'm not like a huge sub-assembly person, but man, I wish I didn't have the heads on these guys. Have I seen Radioactive Dreams? I have not. the head is in the way, it could also be in the way of a light source. Yeah, it could, but I'm not trying that hard when I'm painting stuff for an army. I just started painting my 100 Gene Stealer cult neophytes, and man, I wish I kept the gun in hand separately. Saying this, I'd curse not gluing them after the paint job. Yeah. Add it to your list of bad, good 80s flicks. Okay. I'll always take more Rex for that. You know, one thing that Letterboxd is missing is saying why you added something to your watch list. I always want to like add a reason, like was recommended by so-and-so. I saw it on a Facebook post. I watched it in a YouTube video. I'd love to have like a little reason for why I put a video in my watch list. Radioactive Dreams, eh, Rufus? What is this movie? Albert Payne. Oh man, this guy's got an amazing catalog of shitty looking movies. Holy cow. Yeah, this looks insane. This looks absolutely insane. I will add it to my watch list. Did you watch Quest for Fire yet? No, but I think I remember when you told me to add to my watch list, and it's still on there. Is that one that's like so bad it's good? I can't remember. Just good. Okay, just a good one. Okay. The plot is that the nuclear apocalypse happened in 86. Two kids scooped into a shelter by their dads, raised them on detective novels. Then the dads leave and the kids are left to raise themselves until they leave the shelter in 01. And then 80s post-apocalyptic tropes ensues: mutants, new wave pop, lots of gangs. Awesome. Awesome. Quest for Fire is also Question for Fire. Hey. I didn't know you were coming in today. Waiting to hear the Miniac review of Last Year at Marienbad, the movie that made me the angriest during my time. Do I want to watch a movie that's gonna make me angry? I don't know. Okay. All right, good to know. Very artsy. Are there any Helot chaos cults in your Necromunda groups? I actually think that our Arbiter right now is working on converting some chaos Helots. I don't think he's necessarily playing as them, as his gang. I don't know though for sure. Why are you asking? I haven't seen Holy Mountain, but I know that I look at Blu-rays a lot from Arrow Video, and I know they have a nice release of Holy Mountain. I haven't seen that one yet, but I kind of want to. It looks kind of crazy actually. Paint is getting a little bit too wet. Not getting nice crispy lines when I run it along the edge of a detail. It's kind of like hitting the edge and then spreading out. Okay. We need a 3 out of 5 star emote. Scott, so the B movie didn't make you understand the universe and ascended you into godhood. I mean, maybe it did. Fun fact, the director of Holy Mountain wanted to do a Dune movie. I think they had storyboards and everything. Was it Jodorowsky? Did Jodorowsky do Holy Mountain? I guess I was just wondering if you had any experience playing against them. Oh, okay, I got you. If I started Necromunda, they would probably be my choice with the 40k cultists and 3D printed ones. It's that or corpse grinders. Yeah, dude, fair. No, I haven't played against them yet, but I might at some point in the campaign. I think that my arbiter actually does play them for the campaign, but he only plays pickup games when like someone can't make a round or something like that. So I haven't played him yet. How do you stop yourself from overboard? Like at what point is enough when painting and going more? I think it's really important to like, I don't know if it's really important, but it's good at some point to like kind of decide that you're happy with your scheme and you want to make it more efficient. And one of the ways that I've done in the past to like test that out is to time every single step of the process. You know, how long does it take to edge highlight one single dude's white segmented armor, you know? And then you can like look at your booklet in front of you and you can like see all your notes. And you're like, okay, wow, that step took a really long time. Is it worth it? Is there a faster way to accomplish that step that gets me 80% of the outcome with 20% of the work, you know? It's so good when you just have that data right in front of you and you can ask those questions as opposed to kind of just like guessing if certain things are gonna be good for you. Then you try it out, you know, you try doing a faster method and you paint the whole model and then you set it down in your army or next to other models you've painted. You stand back at a table height and you're like, hey, can I tell that I dry brushed the silver there instead of base coating it and washing it black? It's like, no, I can't tell. So I'm actually okay with that process. Or I'm okay with that, like, you know, making that concession. So at some point, it's good to do that. There's already the one I posted a while back. I can modify. Okay, right. Oh, that one is Jodorowsky. Okay, cool. I didn't know that Jodorowsky went on to make other movies. That obviously he would do that, right? Yes, I would love to watch Jodorowsky's Dune at some point. The timer doesn't run for that long. That's a lot of words for I'll never be satisfied, just done. No, I am satisfied with my armies, truly. And I think part of the reason why I am happy with my armies is because I kind of did that due diligence to make sure that, you know, I was happy with the level of quality and outcome that I was putting into my models. But like I didn't know beforehand like how much to try, and so I had to kind of do a lot of experiments like that. You know, like leading up to painting my army, I painted my kill team, I painted my guild ball team, I painted all kinds of stuff. And so I kind of, while doing that, figured out, okay, am I happy with this? Am I happy with that? Something kind of just learn over time. I think my skeleton paint scheme in particular, I'm very happy with. I think that produces some good looking skelly boys. And I think it's like 40 minutes a mini. But those guys also don't have like a lot going on, you know? They don't have a lot of details. This guy, I think, was the very first guy that I oil washed because he looks kind of trash. I mean, quite a few. Okay. For some reason in my head, I thought that experience like sunk his Hollywood career. Like he put, I kind of vaguely am familiar with the story of Jodorowsky's Dune, where like they put a lot of money into pre-production and then it kind of, you know, it just didn't come to be. And so I thought in my head, I probably made up a story where it's like, you know, he used all that money and then never got it back and then had to quit his job or something like that. Obviously not the case. All right, see you, Lord Scimitar. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it, man. I'm grabbing these paints that we were testing earlier, and they seem to resurrect really nicely on the wet palette. Like I'm not having to like they look dry, but they aren't. And I just apply a little bit of water. They come back to life, and everyone's happy. better than watch Jodorowsky's Dune is to read Jodorowsky's Dune, called The Cast of Meta Barons, where all the ideas and concepts from all the crew became its own thing. So there's a I love this incestuous nature of media that our culture has. Frank Herbert writes Dune. Jodorowsky tries to make a movie based on that written work and falls short. But the movie was so good that they made a documentary about the making of the movie based on someone else's work. And there's also a book based on the making of a movie based on the works of somebody else. It's like, what? Like, did we really need all that? It's just funny, you know? I didn't know there was a book for it too. Definitely more of a movie guy myself, though. I guess that makes sense, though. Put all that work into a movie, you kind of want to cash it out in any way possible. Does it seem odd for GW to send Warhammer Heroes to Target? It's sold out just as fast as a pre-order. No, I don't think it does. I think it's a smart business move. If Target came up to me and they're like, hey, do you want to sell the Duchess in Target? I'd be like, please. Why, do you think it's weird that GW is doing that? It's okay if you do. Got stuck thinking of the blades of the incubi. What would you think of making a marble effect on the blade, like a black marble? That kind of seems like one of those things where like marble is a cool idea, but does it fit with what I got going on here? Is it appropriate? I'm trying to think. It's not a bad idea. It would definitely look cool. Having like a black and yellow or you know, I could do like a black and teal marble thing and pass it off as like lightning effects and stuff. Oh. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. I like randomly stumbled onto this technique. While I was using Molotov Chrome on this vampire that I was painting for a video a long time ago. And if you paint a thing with Molotov Chrome and then you kind of let it dry to the touch, and then you put paint on top of it, because the paint is still like, it seems like it's expanding. It's like moving around as it's painting. Sorry, as it's curing. And when you put acrylic paint, which dries a lot faster than Molotov, it begins to crack apart the paint. Kind of like you would see with Crackle Medium, but like not with all the chunky nature of it. I've always thought that you could take advantage of that with like a Night Lord's like shoulder pad, where you could paint the whole shoulder pad in Molotov Chrome, and then paint the whole thing again in navy blue. And then it makes this beautiful crackling look. And it's not chunky, it's nice and smooth on the surface. And then once that fully sets up and it's done, then you could like spray the whole thing with a translucent color. And it wouldn't really affect the navy blue on top. It would just change the color of the silver cracks. And so you could make them like a teal silver crack, you know, or like a whatever. And that might be pretty cool to try out. And that wouldn't require an airbrush. Yeah, I don't know. Now kind of give these swords like a nice kind of like energy look. It's kind of hard to describe it. definitely talked about it before on the podcast. Or not the podcast, the stream. Well, that Jodorowsky's Dune book is a comic? It's kind of weird. Onyx, Augite, Biotite. Wouldn't be a bad idea to like check out some natural stones just to see if something would inspire, you know? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Painting your Goliath gang? Nice. See a coronary jump? Okay. Got my Dark Eldar all edge highlighted. At least their white armor is all edge highlighted. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do something similar for the yellow, but that'll be a lot easier because it's significantly less of the model than the white armor was. And then maybe I would do like some edge highlighting on like the gray parts, like on their horns and stuff, and some of their fabric. I don't think the green really needs anything, and there's like a bazillion fucking tchotchkes all over them, though. There's like tons of studs and spikes and rings and gems and pouches and what look like dog tags and tubes and all kinds of just bullshit that I'm gonna need to think about some way to paint. Okay. I am still streaming. What up, Nurgle Matthew? You're too kind, man. All right, I'm gonna head out just because I need to leave at a reasonable time so that I can go home to walk my dogs and make dinner because I got that Necromunda game I gotta get to. But thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for gifting subs, chatting, donating bits, all that stuff. I really appreciate all of it. See you, Rufus. See you, N415. I'll catch you guys a week from now. Actually, I won't. I'll be back. I'm leaving for Phoenix on Wednesday, and I think I'm coming back on Monday. So in a week from now, same place, same time, 1 p.m. CST. Twitch.tv/Miniac. Come hang out, chat about the hobby, chat about movies, chat about whatever you want to chat about. And yeah, otherwise, guys, we raid Jamie. I don't know who Jamie is. But that was awesome. I'm down for that. Hey, more minis, creamy biggins. Hell yeah, dude. See ya, Victorize. See you guys. Jamie Daggers. All right, cool. We can do that. That's good to me. Let me find the button that I need to push. All right. See you guys.